bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. May there be completeness for all. May there be auspiciousness for all. Our mind, that is our home, is a scared home. But the peace is the true owner. Why it is scared? Because unauthorized guests are there. So if I remember as in knowledge, as in awareness, who has the right to live in your mind? We forget it. We forget it. These unauthorized occupants gain access when we forget the self. We turn outward for identity and fulfillment. We depend on the people, situation, objects to define our well-being. We find that something outside, you can even open your eyes. We think our mind, pay attention to it, our mind, the same mind, no, I am very busy, so that I cannot attend this session. Now you all are seekers, so that's why I'm talking about it. So the mind has forgotten my true nature. That is why something is more important to attend. Don't we know that, we are having a session at a fixed days and fixed timing? No, I am very busy. Where I am busy? I am busy in a transactional reality, on a relative reality. See the other point of view. The guy told me that, I have just started meditation. I said, when? Just 2 weeks ago. So next week he met. Now I am doing the practice regularly. I said, very good. So after that next week he said, I'm practicing regularly. So I said, how many times you missed last week? 4 times. Are you regular? What you are talking about? But I don't say this. Don't say normally. Why I don't see, that's another topic, because then we will deviate from this. It is because of prarabdha and the sanskaras. But now I want to tell you that this is very important to tell you. The guy whom I was talking about, he missed 3 cute and beautiful girls. Did I tell you? I think I told on the Saturday's session. So I just got some printout he sent me in my email messages. Something started happening to him during the last 1.5 months. So he started sending the email messages. I need not to tell him that you are regular or not. But for 4 years he missed. We don't want to understand it. You miss one, you don't contemplate, you are not regular, your mind will go on a hamster wheel. You think it is not going, it is your intellectual conviction. Without regularity, sincerity, and commitment, it is the ego that takes over you, which happened to him. But during the last 1.5 months, he is totally changed. I did not say anything. So that is another way that we can progress. What is that progress? It may take 5 years. If I'm not sincere commitment in regular. So after 5 years, now he wrote me that he heard the talk which I gave to him on 2021 11/1 11/1/21. Now what he has written: if the knowledge does not settle in the mind, real self cannot be realized. If there is a big gap between the knowledge that I have and the mind, ignorance will continue. Now he writes, drop the obsession and you are free. It is obsession, attachment prevents you to be regular, committed, sincere in the journey. It is not something is important outside. Nothing is important outside. It is my attachment. It is my obsession. This is what he realized. We met last week and he said, now sir, I'm okay. I'm very happy. And no more girls. There is but change has come after 5 years. And then you will blame and complain me that there is no change. You have been saying that there is a change. He writes, these unauthorized occupants gain access when we forget the self, turn outward for identity and fulfillment. We depend on the people, situation, objects to define our well-being. He has become a teacher to himself. That is what I want to say. Then in the 22nd, 2022, he heard he picked up randomly and he wrote me. There are almost 50 messages he sent, and I am so happy. The mind lives in 2 words. Drop the false word and the real self appears. Same guy who said, I am caught by this cute and beautiful girl. Highest love is the emotional freedom. What a great statement he made. Highest love is emotional freedom. Did he say, or it is revealed? It is revealed. This is what happens. Love is unconditional. Yes, everyone knows. Attachment is conditional. Not many people know. So you see, the highest love is emotional freedom, and attachment is emotional bondage. In any relation, if I set a condition, then attachment is there. One more, and then we will come back to the topic. That is the meaning. Now, after 5 years, his sincerity and commitment worked. No, you have told me even 5 years ago, but nothing happened. Luckily that I am with you. Now I can see that the things are changing. So one more. In the waking state, the mind lives in me. I don't live by using the mind. I am neither the waking, dream, nor the sleep state. I can go on. The entire session will finish on that. This is how the transformation takes place. With your sincerity, with your commitment. Are you understanding, Ashok? You said that I started Mangala Charan mantra last week. Are you regular? Yes, I am regular. What do you mean by regular? Just 1 week. Wait for 6 months. How many weeks you are regular? How many days you are regular? Slight ego has returned. I am regular, I'm regular. It doesn't work that way. Anyhow, we are understanding that Sama is living proof that true peace is possible, not as a distant ideal. So when you are committed, sincere, And doing the practice includes all the three. SYA, you already understand. Do you understand SYA? Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. Every day you experience. You know, Ashok knows it. If you don't know, then you can ask Ashok. Hmm? Or listening, learning. Listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, practice, and experience. That should be there. Am I in peace? Am I giving you a lesson? In that state of the peace, what is going to happen? The reduction in quality, quantity, and frequency of six enemies. Can we say we are progressing and awakening to Sama? How? My hesitation, my reaction, my excitement, qualitatively going down, quantitatively going down, frequency is going down. I'm not, reactive. Previously, I used to be reactive 5 times a day. Now only 3 times. Now only 1 time. Now it is gone. Sama is settling. That is what I am saying. So make a list of 5 things that you don't like in your behavior and personality. Are they going down? Are they reducing? If they are reducing, you are definitely, Sama is settling in you. Sama is settling in you. That is the one thing that I want to talk about it. Now come to the journey a seeker recognizes in his life. You remind yourself, your mind reminds yourself. There comes the purity of the mind. If the impurity of the mind and intellectually I'm just trying to push, it will not work. No, I was very busy. Busy for what? Can you tell me when you will not be busy? After 5 years? Okay, don't do any practice. Leave the session. After 5 years, you start doing the practice. We don't recognize the delusion that the world will keep me busy if I am attached, if I am deluded. Do you see that? Now I'm just talking straight away. So that is the movement from default mind to the discerning mind. I pick up the discerning mind instantly. What mind? Where are you going? First, let me do it. And that is why we learned what we learned: Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti, listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, practice, fourfold qualification, etc. Long list. I'm just giving you. You already remember. So when you repeat listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, then you apply in the daily life, you can pick up that how my default mind is causing the problem and preventing me not to do the practice regularly. That sense of the forgetfulness will cause, that forgetfulness is ignorance. Understand the basics. Perhaps the last session now of the Sama. Sama, core concept of the Sama. Did you understand the core concept of Sama? Why it is a core? Peace is my essential nature. I forget it. In excitement, in reaction, in anger, in busyness, and inner to forget. That forgetfulness is a part of the ignorance this guy written. He's evolving now very fast. Now I could see his attention, his absorption, his understanding, and his question comes from the pure mind. Peace is your essential nature. We have already discussed it is not incidental nature. The first point of the Sama. The second point of the Sama, you forget the Sama but you start living in discernment and dispassion every day in every activity. Sama and all the six treasures will come to you. Where I said fourfold practices. You follow every thought, speech, and action with discernment and dispassion. Sama is already there. You need not even to think of it. Second, all the six treasures will come one after the other. Third point, now the Sama is there, I don't apply it. So when I don't apply it, I become a hypocrite. How I become a hypocrite? No, I am a spiritual guy doing the practice of meditation with this weird guy. My honey is crazy, she or he does not understand. Apply it. Are you getting it? Apply in your daily life. How to apply? Think, speak, and act with discernment and dispassion. Don't start eating honey. First, you calm down. I'm a great meditator. I have been attending the session for the last 5 years. You have not been attending. So, first calm down, then I will talk to you. This is not discernment and dispassion. Sama 3. Continue daily thinking, speaking, and acting with discernment and dispassion to awaken to the six treasures naturally. Why? Honey says you are crazy, you are able to maintain the calm, so you will recognize it, whether you have practiced or not. Are you getting? Brandy in a school, in a college, the student says you are crazy and you say you are smiling. Then only then only it will be a proof. Then you are doing something. 3 points. Fourth point, etymology. I said etmo. Whereas we break up the word into parts. So the Sama is a Sanskrit word which means to quieten. To quieten. What it means by quieten? Quieten in relationship with you. You are saying something, my mind is reacting. No, to quieten. That is the meaning of to quieten. That is the meaning of the Sama. Sama, which means to quieten, to pacify, to become calm, or to subdue. It is more internal. Fundamentally, it means mastery over the mind. And mastery over the mind is 100% available. Sama, fourth point. Fifth point, so you can remember. So, Sama means, also the calmness, the serenity, the evenness of the mind. So here is a different. The Gita explains that you desired, and it is fulfilled. Obviously, calmness will be there. Your desire is not fulfilled and still you are calm. Not all the desires are fulfilled of everyone in the world. So it is not indifference. I'm okay, I did my hard work. Oh, that's all. Whatever I get, it is I'm grateful to the existence. So then only you can maintain that state of the peace. Otherwise not. Now Patanjali says empty the mind of its content. You see, first result is the Sama. First result is the calmness. When you empty the contents of the mind. The second sutra of the Patanjali. Anyhow, so now let us move to sixth point of the Sama. We understood the active and the passive. Passive is Shanti. So we normally take Shanti to the laziness, feeling sleepy or in deep sleep. That is another peace. It is unconscious. We are talking of the passive. Passive sama is shanti. You did Mangalacharan mantra and you are sitting in a passive state in a meditation. You experience the peace. But active peace is that you are living peace in every thought, speech, and action. That is very important. And reflect on the sama. What you reflect? We human beings are the seekers of peace and happiness. See that? So the Eastern wisdom has picked up the very essence of it. What exactly is the human purpose? We are seekers of peace and happiness. We want peace in all the situation, in all the relationship, anywhere and everywhere. How it is possible to get it? How to discover that? Think. Why to practice sama? Oh, I am a human being. I am a seeker of peace and happiness, and I want that peace all the time, in all the situation, in all the relationship, which will help my mind to go within, to continue to live within, to maintain my level of self-awareness. In the stage of realization that peace pervades everywhere, you can see it, you can experience it. We'll talk about that later. So yes, now I am open to your reflection. You know, this guy, even after 4 years, 5 years, he started writing to me. And every day, he sometimes he sends 6 messages. I picked up the audio file of 23, and I now even once he was saying that I listened to it once, and I had those thoughts, I had a feeling, I had a clarity, and that is what I write. Yes, I said continue writing it. Yes, who is going to take over? The anyone can take over. It's not an examination. We don't have any examination in Eastern wisdom. You are going to test yourself. I don't give you any certification. Yes, Brandy, you want to go ahead? You all will prepare your students for certification. Yes.
And they probably think I'm crazy sometimes too. That's true. It was helpful to hear about the guy with the beautiful women's recount of some of the older lessons. And what I was thinking about is, for me, sometimes it seems like I'm going along pretty nicely, and I'm able to have that discernment, and then something will happen. And it's usually not even something that's that big of a deal, and it's like I have to start all over again. And I understand about the consistency and all of that, but it's challenging sometimes when like I said, it's going along smoothly, and then whammo, something big.
Yes, you are right. That's a good recognition. What should we do? We should remember consistency. I should reflect. Oh, I have forgotten this. That's why it is happening. Why I forget? It is because of obsession or attachment or likes and dislikes outside. Why there is a likes and dislikes? It is unauthorized occupant in the mind. Like this, there are many reasons. More than the mood of the mind. More than the mood of the mind is directed outward. So the more and more we become aware, perhaps these 5 years of his listening subconsciously is returning at the conscious level by which he, but I have to choose consistency, sincerity, and regularity. That I have to choose. then the mind will change. Yes, anyone who wants to go ahead. Should I further? Yes, Lo, that is Dennis, you.
Yes, I have been thinking about the relationship between sama and discernment, and it has been also my experience that I think they are interdependent. Uh, when uh, when we are in sama or in peace, it is much easier to discern, um, and I can confirm it from my own experience. Um, Especially when I'm going in the practice, and sometimes it becomes more clear and more evident what I should have done in a particular situation when I analyze the issues or problems or whatever the life offers, and how I have behaved, and I can clearly see the way that uh, that is better, or that is that could have uh, been done with a greater level of awareness and discernment. So I think regularity is also very important here, because the mind gets accustomed, or it becomes like more easier for the mind to get into that state faster when you do it regularly, because we teach the mind that it should, where it should go, the direction it should go, and then it enters that state in the everyday life uh, with more smoothness easily. So I think we have to do both. On one hand, we have to pacify the mind so that discernment becomes possible at all, because when the mind is not in peace, then no discernment is possible, and discern to go deeper into the peace.
Beautifully said. You said that you have summarized the first 3 points: the core concept of sama. Second is the fourfold practices to become a seeker. You just pay attention to become a seeker, apply discernment and dispassion, the peace, and all the six treasures will come back to you. And the third one, then I have to, when you say that I confirm in my life, it means I have to continue daily thinking, speaking, and acting with discernment and dispassion in order to keep the sama in my life alive. Now you see the other side. Logically, if I maintain the regularity, sincerity, and commitment, the mind does not invite the unauthorized occupants. So my mind is self-aware, and it will pick up. It will pick up? It will pick up the peace. Otherwise, it picks up the anxiety, duality, past, obsession. So these four are very deeply interconnected. Why we are talking, so that our intellect is clear. You see another concept? So intellect is clear means the intellect has a conviction, it will pass on the knowledge to the mind to change. You see, the entire structure of the Eastern wisdom works like this. Yes, David, you want to say something, David and Jerry?
Thank you. The Sama concept, today I was reflecting on, inadvertently, I guess I've started applying it in my daily life, and in reflecting on it, I've noticed these subtle changes where the sharp edges start to go away, and then that, to Dennis's point, allows me to sort of discern something because there's not that sharp edge there. So I'm going to keep in that discovery and that focus right now. So thank you.
Yes, yes. I should ask myself, that is why I said even 5 minutes of reflection daily in the evening before going to sleep. How many times I had the events of anxiety, reaction, duality? Those are the moments I forget the entire journey of the self discovery. That forgetfulness is due to the ignorance. Why there is an ignorance? Because the mind is outside. Why the mind is outside? Because of the attachment and obsession, likes and dislikes. There the peace is, not there. Peace is inside me. So even if I reflect like this every day, the mind is tuned. Mind is tuned to a particular station of peace. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Good, thank you, sir. My takeaway was related to the second sutra, where the contents of the mind is emptied,
Yeah.
and then associating that with either the world living in us or we live in the world. And so that reflection of the sama, the emptying of the impressions, the triggers, the patterns, the habits, and then living in the world instead of the world living in me. That way I'm not at all defined by the changes of the world.
Basically, the essence of Patanjali is what you have just told. That essence is when we say empty the mind of its content, we become aware the world should not live in our mind. We should live in the world. So once it means the thoughts are still there, but they don't disturb you. You are not attached. You are not clinging to them. That is what the emptiness of the mind is. Emptiness of the mind is that you cannot say that there is no thought. Even when you say my mind is empty, it is a thought. But that is totally a journey at the very higher level. Perhaps we will take it. Yes, Samir, you want to say?
Sir, you told about commitment. I think that commitment is directly proportional to the results what we are getting in day to day our life. Supposing any situation occurs and I don't react, and means it is on daily basis that it keeps on repeating that I don't react, I don't react. So I
Yes.
feel very happy that I didn't react.
Yes.
Means then my commitment increases more towards the journey
Yes.
because the results are becoming great.
Yes.
Means the results and commitment are directly proportional to each other. As I am getting the results, the commitment is becoming more and more. So that is there what is happening with me in day to day life. I feel very happy when I don't react, and sometimes at that moment my mind thinks that I should react, but I stop. And I stop, and after 10-15 minutes I think that I have done the correct thing. So that is there.
Yes, that is the life of a seeker. What about the non-seeker? Let us find some excitement, some joy. Let us take. When they are excited, they don't mind living into the stress and the pleasure-seeking mind outside. If you are a seeker, you will definitely find, I did it, I find the peace, and then I'm committed. I'm committed. But then there are non-seekers also. So you rightly pointed out about the life of a seeker. And to enter and to become a seeker is a bit challenging, even if we practice, like this guy. After 5 years, he started transforming. One point more I want to say. Gita says that's another level of the journey. Perhaps we don't know whether we will take it or not. That says that any effort on this path of Eastern wisdom is never lost. This guy complained to me just 6 months ago that there is no change. You are responsible. Now he says that I'm responsible. So whatever little you have learned, it may haunt you in the future. It is not going to leave you. So even a little effort in this direction is not lost. Yes, Stephen.
I'm finding the importance of the consistency, and making sure that that consistency is not only the practice but the self-reflection. And what I'm realizing and noticing daily, the heightened awareness that the contemplation and reflection isn't waiting for my practice. It's not waiting during the morning. It's not waiting before I go to bed. It's happening instantaneously, in the moment. And it's been very good. And I've been able to identify still where the struggles are. But what I'm also noticing that when I take the moment of getting rid of the social media in my life, the wasted time in front of the television and sitting down and practicing, and that whether that's for 10 minutes or whether that's for 30 minutes, it seems as if the space between the thoughts continually are getting longer and longer. And it's now during those moments, the contemplation and reflection is this the knowledge being revealed, and I'm saying it is, and that space is now happening with eyes opened, and I could feel and sense and see the difference. And there were moments over the last 5 years, and I'm not that person that he's referring to. Over the last 5 years, people have said at certain moments that they see a change, but I'm getting it more and more consistently in the last several weeks. And I feel it myself. So thank you. And to Samid, it is a commitment in every which way, shape, or form. And my latest thing is enlightenment. Well, it probably is enlightenment absolute. And I'm going through this contemplation reflection, saying that you are either enlightened or you're not, and there's no in between. And so, just those moments of you're saying that, recognizing the space. Oh, I didn't have any thought, is actually having a thought. It's going to be interesting to see when I conquer that absolute, if possible. So thank you.
Yeah. When we say the space between the thought and related to the mode and the mood of the mind, related to the authorized and unauthorized occupants of the mind, and then add the discernment and dispassion, everything becomes clear. So from the point of view of discernment and dispassion, I check, mind is empty. Empty means what? Emptiness has to do with no reaction, no anxiety, no obsession, no attachment. Normal thoughts are there, so let it be there. That's a beautiful point of the space he talked about. So how are you, Christina?
Thank you. I know you've said this many, 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 many times. Peace is my essential nature. And the thought came to me, like, I don't forget that I have kids, or I don't forget to get my tea in the morning, or I don't forget, all these certain things. So how do I forget that peace is my essential nature, and needing to make the commitment to rise that up as my primary commitment above all others?
Beautifully said. So when you raise this question to your own mind, how come it is possible? I remember everyone. I remember all my relations. I remember what I do. I remember my gender. I remember my kids. I forget peace. I am a seeker of the peace. That is primary desire. That's a primary motivation. To resolve this, that is why we need a consistency, commitment, sincerity. So it goes to the mind and the mind transforms and then mind doesn't forget. Let that time come in the journey of the self-discovery. That's from there we can start the journey to awakening and self-knowledge. Beautifully raised the point, sir. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So it was an experience like over the weekend. I was driving and some anxious thoughts were coming at that time, and I was applying the sama. And it's like it's watching the mind and proving in the mind that what is my real state. And over there, over the period of time, those I'm checking that this is my state of mind, this is me, and what is my real state, and I'm moving towards my real state. So in some time that thoughts were I've forgotten those thoughts and it would totally calm and peaceful. So this was the experience. This was the experience.
Yes.
And like with respect to the practice and regularity, I remember one of your thoughts that like once you shared that for some time you chase the knowledge, and after that the knowledge will going to chase you.
Yeah.
So in some way or some way, whenever there is a situation when you are when I am not calm or peaceful, some thoughts come into my mind with those knowledge, and contemplating on those things, it will make my mind very peaceful.
Beautifully said, that's what you all share differently. What is very important, you are stuck in a traffic and your mind says, I will be 10 minutes late. Third step, continue to think, speak, and act in discernment and dispassion. So you apply that thought process. So you start thinking in your mind. If you don't think in your mind and you are in a hurry, the mind will invite the unauthorized occupant. You see that, check that, understand that clearly. So when that clear understanding is there, the life is going to transform. Close your eyes, the stage one. Place, position, and posture. Mind to interact consciously in a specific direction. That is what the discerning intellect is, by which you bypass. When you become aware of the place, position, posture, you are bypassing the default mind. It's not so difficult. That is why the Master says Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge. In the beginning, it may appear that it is more a practice, being comfortable. Simply change the direction of the mind by self-awareness. So here, the presence, the self-awareness of the presence and self-awareness of the poise method comes in both being comfortable and carefree. So the self-awareness, I'm looking inside. Mind, where are you going? Are you looking inside? Yes, I'm looking inside. Why I'm looking inside? To find the peace. But why? Because peace is within me. So there is a sudden thought process, one after the other. So this continuous flow of the thought process, which takes your mind inside, is forgotten. That breaks your sincerity and commitment. But then we have to start with the sincerity and commitment. So we have to do the practice, whatever it takes. So being carefree. So we have changed the direction to moving away from the word. You see, moving away from the word. Moving away from the unauthorized occupants. That is what it is, in a different way. So now you wake up in the morning in a sense of anxiety, and you have a sense of forgetfulness in the sense of anxiety. So that chain is broken. So help mind settle in now in the stage 1 and settle in. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Just check. Your awareness takes you deeper into the happiness for all. If it doesn't take you, you think and contemplate. Let there be happiness for all, including me, and all is here in this session. I'm aware of everyone in this session, and peace is there. Happiness is the essential nature. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. So you consciously, sometimes the mind, I would say not sometime, but 90% of the time in the beginning, the mind repeats mechanically, habitually, impulsively. And it depends on your commitment and sincerity. It may happen in 6 months. It may happen on a given day. It may not happen for years together. Or maybe after 5 years, like this guy. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. I'm skipping one step on the stage 1. We will directly go into the stage 2. We'll do one step in that. Focus your mind or look deep inside the forehead, because in the stage 1 we have already learned. Because of discernment and dispassion, now mind is enjoying the presence within. In that joy, we look casually inside the forehead in the space and start breathing long, deep in the hissing breath into the belly. Long, deep in the hissing breath into the belly. So the belly breathing, you are aware of the belly breathing means that expansion of the belly during inhalation, contraction during exhalation. So you are conscious of the breathing into the belly, breathing out of the belly. Don't shake your entire body except your belly. Your belly should move inside and outside, not your entire body. If you are moving your entire body, you'll feel tired. Ashok. And we already understand, if you remember, I repeated maybe I think 100 times. Joy of doing. We should transition into a joy of doing. In the beginning, effort is there. Gradually, the effort dissolves. Why the effort dissolves? Who feels the effort? The mind. Why? Because of some previous impressions. Science, I know the science says because because of our belly muscles and lungs are not tuned to breathe like this. No. We say no, it is because of the mind. And to leave this, we will move into the stage 3. Have self-awareness. So self-awareness means the flow of the breath. Just look at the flow of the breath. You are the observer of the breath now moving in and out. When you observe, you find the space between the breath. That is why you notice. That is how and why you notice and experience the breath is going in and out. So you should look closely with intense awareness. Yes, there is a space. Space between the breath. Now a challenge to the mind. Every time the breath flows in, you find the space and you drop Om Shanti. Every time the breath returns. Space. The moment you see the space, you are aware of the space. Om Shanti is so natural. Om Shanti is so natural. So in the stage 3, we have a segments. We drop the Om Shanti on 16 segments. Now you drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. By a healthy discussion, focused discussion, you become the teacher to yourself. I told you that how long this teacher will be with you until you reach to that final stage. After that, you are on your own. And that is why we started the journey. My master used to say that once you reach to that state, you walk on this way, I walk on that way. Normally it doesn't happen with the sense of humility from both the side of a teacher and the student. They go together, they walk together. And now leave this triangle, move the mind inside your heart, visualize the triangle, move the mind on each side of a triangle, dropping Om Shanti clockwise and anti-clockwise. So this is, still we are in the third stage. I'll explain you so that you will understand each and every stage in the steps. It becomes your, what we say, it becomes your signature practice for discernment, for intensifying your discernment, dispassion, and other progress. And once you find the sync, push the mind singing Om deep inside the cave of your heart. Mind seems to stop. There you drop Om. You drop simply Shanti and check that. And after that you do nothing. So when you do nothing, it's a kind of a self-absorption. And you just drop into the stage 4. Deviate means when the mind drops all the efforts, drop the default mind completely consciously. That is my take for you to understand that now effort is no more. So when the effort is no more, your level of awareness is very high. We will talk about it. There is a baseline awareness, there is a default mind, and there is a discerning mind. Self-absorption is there. You are doing nothing, but sometimes it happens automatically. Your mind may say Om Shanti, Om Shanti. That is okay. You are not making any effort. So basically, it is the discerning mind or intellect. Discerning intellect, you may have the thoughts, but for clarity. But if you have a dispassion mind, almost you don't have any thought, or thoughts are too far from you. You enjoy that state. In dispassion, we have more joy. More joy. In discernment, I'm saying, I'm just opening up. That's a very, very higher step, higher journey to understand. In discernment, we have more understanding, or you say the clarity. So everyone has different experiences, and that is what the stage 5 is. You have the self-absorption, and then the result of this self-absorption, I just talked about it. The dispassion mind, you have more joy. There is a joy of dispassion. We have a false joy of attachment. So that is how they are linked. We have false joy of attachment or obsession or pleasure, false. So then the mind becomes the default mind, and mind becomes the default mind, and then I'm answering you, then we forget. Oh, it is so subtle, we need to understand, yes. And now you can also recite loudly or silently, whatever the case is. both okay with me. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll do together one more time. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So when you are doing on your own and you feel mind likes to stay in that state, it is always a good idea to extend the period of your stay. Why? You can easily figure out what we have been discussing in the last couple of weeks. And when you return, you see that can you recollect what you have learned today and bring your mind on the right hand. Your mind on the right hand, it means there is an awareness you notice. Bring your mind on the left hand and lift your both the palms, place it in your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Yes, how are you, Stephen?
Good. Thank you again, sir. Meditation was effortless. There were clearly thoughts that took place. I was aware of the thoughts. I couldn't tell you what a single one of those thoughts were because the moment I acknowledged it, they dissolved, and I was just focused on the sama coming through and just an absolute peace. So thank you.
Yes, beautiful. Sometimes the thought comes and they dissolve. So it is leading you to a dispassion and ultimately it is full of the joy. Sometimes the thought doesn't dissolve, but the thoughts are of enlightening nature. So that is the higher level of discernment. So that works. We are not going there yet, but I'm just pointing you out. So how are you, Samir?
Sir, I think my commitment towards peace is becoming more stronger than commitment towards anxiety and attachments. So it is becoming, and because of that, meditation is becoming very easy for me.
Beautiful.
Means very easy, and it comes very naturally to me now.
Beautiful.
Means just close the eyes and I am into meditation.
You know, just out of, he said commitment to anxiety. He is right. We have a commitment to anxiety. Why? Because we have a commitment to attachment. We have a commitment to obsession. That gives you an answer that why we forget. Why our sincerity is not there. Why the commitment is not there. So it is within me. Beautifully said. How are you, Christina?
Thank you again. And in a state of peace and calmness, and the sense of like the thoughts just have less meaning, less value.
Beautiful. You are awakened from today now. No more issue. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Smeed, I like your word commitment because my word going into today's session was intention. And I said to myself, my intention is my essential nature, which is peace. And every japa section, every breath was focused on that intention. So it was a very good meditation. Thank you.
Yes. In US and in Western world we say intention, and in Eastern wisdom we use the word bhav, bhav. Bhav is also akin to something like an attitude. So attitude, intention, and emotional connect to that intention all becomes the bhava. That is what the Samir was explaining. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good. Thank you, sir. Meditation was deep. My awareness of the joy and the dispassion kind of settled in that meditation, and the dispassion gives us that freedom, that liberation.
Sometimes we have both. Discernment also, dispassion also, so that we are going to take. There are four types of revelation, and that guides us towards the higher journey. We will talk about it. Beautifully said. How are you, Dennis?
Peaceful meditation, infinite space, and it seemed like the space was the source of the peace, and mind definitely wanted to stay in that state. And I appreciate what you said about the relationship between the efforts of the mind and the level of awareness, because the mind, all the efforts that the mind makes is generally directed outside, and they disturb the clarity of the awareness. And when we finally can calm down the mind and make no effort, then we can experience that level of awareness and clarity. Thank you.
Beautifully, you picked up the right point. Your level of your effort is directly proportional to the lack of your awareness. If I am using a different format, what Dennis is saying, this is what the Dennis is saying. No, I made lot of effort and I did not succeed. Meditation without self-awareness cannot be done. So continue to make an effort, you will always fail. Thanks for failing. So that we need to understand. But understanding comes by sincerity, commitment, and practice. That is the problem. If you are not sincere, if you are not committed, you will not understand. You will not understand. Next time you will do the same practice. Yes, Brandy.
Similar to Dennis, my meditation was really deep, and Dennis said the mind didn't want to come out, but I think it was the piece that didn't want to come out. The mind was in the mix, but I was in a really deep state. Thank you.
Yes, we have a false sense of the pleasure in the world, and when we are ignorant, we don't want to come out of those pleasures of the world. Now compare it. We are understanding that peace is my essential nature. I am absorbed into the peace. I don't want to come out. So in both the cases, we experience, but one experience is continuous, which belongs to me. Other experiences belongs to others. And that is what the delusion is. You see, we solved all the puzzles. How are you, Vaibhav?
So mind was calm, it was peaceful.
Beautiful. How are you, Ashok?
Commitment and sincerity, I
I think that is the key master key of the relationship. So I have to work on it. I have to work with the commitment and the independent that regular to.
Yeah, something I understood, something I did not. But it is okay. I got some indications. Are you doing regular practice regularly?
Sir, only few days back.
Only a few days back. And how long you have been practicing regularly? For the last 2 weeks. That is the problem.
Got it.
Got it? Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.